It's the AFCON final in the year 2012, Zambia vs Ivory Coast. 90 minutes on the clock, no goals, no breakthrough, just tension, heavy legs, heavy minds. Everyone is trying to break the deadlock, but they fail to, and the biggest trophy in Africa is about to be decided by a penalty shootout.
Chance for Zambia.
The stadium is loud, not joyful, nervous noise everywhere. No one knows what to expect next. Penalties for the biggest trophy in Africa. Most people watching this final don't even realize what this game's like, what this match signifies for Zambia. Because this isn't just a final being played anywhere. It's being played in Libreville, in Gabon, a city that carries a lot of history for Zambia, a city that carries grief, a city that Zambia never wanted to return to, and yet somehow, here they are. The penalty starts, Zambia woke up first, calm and composed, the ball hits the net. Ivory Coast responds immediately, no hesitation, no nerves on the surface. It keeps going back and forth. The players take that long walk from the halfway line down to the penalty spots. Crowds are roaring. Some people can't even stare up, some guys are just looking up in the sky. The tension was actually crazy. And then it happens, guys. Kolo Toure steps up and he misses. A big name, a big player. You can feel it instantly. The noise shifts. It's not celebration yet for Zambia, but something else cracked, Ivory Coast hesitated for the first time that night, and it gave some Zambians a form of hope. Then Rainford Kalaba misses Zambia's 8th penalty, and you could feel it. Suddenly the door comes closed again. Everyone is favouring Ivory Coast. Then Gervinho to take it for Ivory Coast. But once again, I repeat, the tension that night was too crazy and Gervinho actually missed the penalty. And now it's Topilia Sunzu, the centre back. He's not a popular player, he's not a big name. He's just been consistent all around in the tournament. He slots it for Zambia and he actually scores. Zambia collapsed to the ground. Some celebrate, some are crying, some are just confused, some are just staring. It just has to take a few moments before the celebration and the joy actually registers in their brain. And you guys, Zambia are the champions of Africa.
From where the squad perished in a plane crash. It's in! Tucked away by Stopira Zunzu, and Zambia are champions of Africa.
Because in 1993, Zambia didn't lose a match. They lost the whole national team. The players were on their way for the World Cup qualifiers. They were traveling to face Senegal, a routine trip. The plane stopped in Libreville for a refuel. Shortly after takeoff, both engines failed. The aircraft crashed into the Atlantic Ocean and there were no survivors. 18 players gone, including the coaches, extra staff. It was a terrible incident for Zambia and was a down moment for the whole of Africa and the whole of African football. That moment, the country went into mourning. African football also went into mourning, and that moment actually never left Zambia. Zambia actually rebuilt quickly, but the shadow followed them everywhere. They missed out on the 1994 World Cup by a single point. They reached the AFCON final in 1994 and they lost. It was a very sad moment. 4 years after that, they were competitive, disciplined and respected, but always incomplete. You could always feel it. They were a team that people liked, the team people sympathized with, never the team people expected to win. They were always the underdogs. And then, nearly 2 decades later, AFCON 2012 arrives. Zambia don't arrive in Gabon as favourites at all. They don't even arrive in as dark horses. No global stars, no big name leagues. Most of the squad players play back home in Africa. They know each other, they trust each other, and they're willing to fight for each other. They're coached by Hervé Renard, strict and intense, and also a very demanding coach, but deeply aligned with the players. He doesn't promise miracles, he promises organization, discipline and togetherness. The team doesn't talk big, they just work and work and work. The opening match is against Senegal. On paper, Senegal is a stronger team than Zambia. Bigger names, bigger expectations. Zambia don't care. They play fast, direct football, fearless. Emmanuel Mayuka scores, Rainford Kalaba scores as well, and Zambia actually won that game 2-1. Suddenly, people started paying attention. Against Libya, the conditions were awful, rain was pouring down, the pitch was flooded. It was actually very scrappy and very physical. Zambia fell behind, they equalized, and they actually fall behind again, then they equalized again. The game ended 2-2 with Mayuka and Kantongo on the score sheet. No panic, no collapse for Gambia. Then comes the host, Equatorial Guinea. Actually, the 2012 AFCON was co-hosted by Equatorial Guinea and Gabon. So 44,000 fans, noise everywhere, whistles, pressure from the fans. Zambia win 1-0 with Kantongo again on the score sheet. They shut the game down, they manage it, they finish top of the group. This isn't luck, guys. This is just control and discipline. There's no round of 16 at the AFCON 2012. Straight to the quarterfinals. One bad night in the group stage and you're out of the tournament. Zambia faced Sudan, and for the first time, they don't just survive, they dominate. 3-0. Sunzu, Kantongo and Chamanga scored that day. The performance was actually very calm and actually clinical, also very efficient from the Zambian side. This stops being a fairy tale. This becomes a serious football team. Then comes Ghana. On paper, this is actually where it ends for Zambia. Ghana have pedigree, Ghana have stars, Ghana have been there before. They're the senior men of the football, you know. Early in the match, Ghana gets a penalty by Gian. Gian steps up and Kennedy Mwene saves it. Everything changes. From that moment, Zambia believe they can survive anything. Ghana push, they dominate possession, they probe. Zambia stays on the low block and they keep on defending. They sit deep, they waste time, they slow the game, they frustrate. And then late in the game, Mayuka breaks through and scores. 1-0, Zambia hold on. Players later say this was harder than the final, more draining, more fearful, because Ghana felt inevitable. Ivory Coast felt powerful, but Ghana actually felt relentless, and Zambia actually survived. Here's the difference, you guys. Ivory Coast play with expectation, Ghana play with lots of pressure, Zambia play with nothing to lose. No one actually knows any of those Zambian players. There's no hype, they just have nothing to lose. They just want to make everyone in their country proud. And Ivory Coast are actually supposed to win, Ghana are actually supposed to compete, Zambia, they're just supposed to be grateful to be in the AFCON. That was the narrative. That's the mind. And the mindset for Zambia was actually what put them in the final, what took them to become the champions of Africa. Most underdog stories fail because the underdog eventually realizes they are the underdog. Zambia never do. They play every match like it's survivable, like it's manageable, like if they stay in the game long enough, something might actually happen. And it actually does. The final is tense, cagey, physical. Nobody wants to be the one that makes the mistake that night. Zambia defend deep, Ivory Coast control the possession, the bigger side. The crowd grows restless, and funny enough, there was a penalty and everyone just believed surely Didier Drogba was going to put it at the back of the net. Unfortunately, he missed it, and I was really confused. Many big name players were missing penalties in that game. You can really feel the tension in the match. Extra time is exhausting, players cramp, tackles are slow, every clearance is cheered, every foul is massive. Nobody wants penalties, you know, but everyone knows they are coming. The feeling of that thing in football is not the best thing. The shootout doesn't feel dramatic at first, it feels methodical, like both teams are waiting for the other to blink. Zambia score, Ivory Coast scores again and again. The penalty spot turns to dust. The crowd barely breathes. Then Toure misses, Calabar misses, then Gervinho misses, Sunzu scores, and Zambia win 8-7. This wasn't a one-man run, you know. Emmanuel Mayuka finishes with 3 goals and wins the Golden Boot. Christopher Katongo also scores 3, but is also named the player of the tournament for the AFCON 2012. Defensively, Zambia tightened up when it mattered the most, you know. 3-0 against Sudan, 1-0 against Ghana, 0-0 against Ivory Coast. They didn't concede that much in the tournament, except for the first in the opening games in the group stage. The tournament's football was actually done properly. Before the final, players actually visited the crash site, they laid wreaths, they stood in silence, no cameras, no noise, just remembrance. Kennedy Mwene later said in the interview that the 1993 team was actually far better than them, more talented, more complete, but this team were just the ones that had to finish the story. This isn't just an underdog story, it's closure, it's timing, it's football, occasionally getting it exactly right. From a plane crash to African champions, not destiny, not miracles, just belief, discipline, and a team that refused to realize it wasn't supposed to happen. And that's why years later, people still talk about it. You guys, thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe.